Hello everyone. Today we will talk about how to submit a change request using ServiceNow. So when you log in ServiceNow on the home page, please click on top left corner where it says all favorite history. When you click on all, please type change. So there are various options regarding change, already submitted change, new changes, the changes requested by you in the past. So all close change, open change, overview. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna submit create new change because this demo is all about how to submit a new change. So I will click on create new change, and in the next window there are various options. There are different kind of changes available in ServiceNow based on different workflows. So for example, normal change, if we read about that, a change that will proceed through application applicable steps of the change management process based on risk and impact. This change type must be entered 48 hours before the change is implemented. So there are standard changes. Select from available pre-approved change templates. So there are templates available in ServiceNow depending on your company organization, your enterprise organization, how they design it. So these changes do not require approval. So you will skip few steps. Expedited changes, these are the last minute changes and emergency changes. So if we talk about emergency changes, a change that must be implemented as soon as possible to restore service or prevent a service failure. Approval must be obtained before the change is implemented. However, the change request can be entered after service is restored, but no longer than 24 hours after service restoration. So different changes have different options. So let's get started with the normal. If I click on the normal change, in the normal change, the change number is auto-populated, set up by the system. So my name is already there because I'm the person who's submitting the change. And CI class. CI class means whether this is a server, AWS, Azure, SharePoint site. There could be anything, a network gear and infrastructure. So let me pick up something which is more relevant. Let's say ESX server and risk. So next option is risk. Risk it could be high, low, moderate. So let me do low risk. And the open by this is auto generated date and time. Type state new because it's a new change. So additional approver, they are set approver already linked to that particular CI class, ESXi. So ESXi team will automatically be informed when I will submit the change, and they will get a notification automatically. But if I want to add someone specifically, I can add from here. Okay, summary. So I will say here decommission a server name ABC123, for example. So in description I can copy and paste, and uh, I can copy and paste. Sorry, it's a little bit clunky, and if there are any more details I will type in here. Server is going to be outdated, let's say. Okay, so justification, um, so maybe this server is no longer required, so I will type it here. This server is no longer required because we have set up an alternate server. Okay. Implementation plan. So in implementation plan I will say um, utilize catalog item decommission a server for automation and task. Let's say, please ignore my typing errors. automation. Okay, so initialize the decommission. Next step is backup. Next step, let's say change rules. Okay, so in the next phase or the next section, I will type risk and impact analysis. So risk and impact analysis could, I will say this is a low. For example, the data has been expired or this server is not been used for a long time and the user are not depending on the server. No one is searching any resources from this server already not being used. Okay, so backup plan. The backup plan, I can say restore all the services um, if needed, but this server has not been used, so I don't think so. That's a big problem. So decommission. Okay, test plan. So verify all the applications and services have been relocated on an other server. Okay, so if you check that what information I have put it in the in this page, this is change number is already been in the system, auto populated, CI class which is the success server, risk that is low, summary I have provided here, description you can provide copy and paste summary and then put some more details. So the more information you provided, it will be better to understand the people and approvers. Okay, justification, implementation plan, risk and impact analysis. So in this section, the only justification is mandatory part. Rest of the things, more information you provide, there will be less questions asked later on. So make it super easy so that the people who are engaged in this workflow or the approvers, they understand what's going on. Test plan, we can restore all those services. So once I complete that, I will go to the next phase. So the next phase is schedule when this change will take place. So if if I click on the schedule, I will be provided with the calendar. There are three calendar requested by date. If I click on the calendar, I can pick up a date. So because this is a normal change, it has to be at least 48 hours before the actual um, implementation date. So let me pick up something on 28 and I'll pick up the time. It's good. I click on this green checkbox. Time is picked up. So this probably be so requested date could be, oh sorry, that could be any date. That could be 25th, 26th, so that doesn't matter. So plan start date, that could be of course after the request. So because I pick up the requested date 28, um, I can go in future date. I can pick up something in the March and pick up the time, click yes, and then I can click on planned end date, which is my schedule, but it could be changed depending on the circumstances. 11, usually this is 24 hours or less than 1 day or few hours until unless this is um, something we're gonna run disaster recovery implementation or something. Click OK, and the next step is click save. So when I click on the save, that will be moved onto the access phase, which means it will go to the next phase. So before I click on save, there are a few things we need to mention in here, that on the top. Let me highlight those one. Authorize, implement, review, closed, cancelled. So some of those options are very obvious. Access in new, which is the first one, which means this is on a draft phase. So you're just putting the data in. Maybe you started submitting a change request, but you left it incompleted. And when you complete that, you click on the save. That moves into the new phase, which is access. Access means that the change manager or the change advisory board will assess that, and they will assess a risk, any urgency, any, or they have to evaluate the whole process, why the change is, what the change is about, and then any additional detail they required. After assessing, the change advisory board will authorize, and then it will go to the authorization phase, which means if there are a number of people who need to authorize that phase, they will authorize depending on the workflow and the implementation in the ServiceNow backend. So once authorization is completed, that change will be moved over to implementation phase. Implementation phase means the change is actually going to take place. There's execution phase where the set date, planned start date will execute that one here. So once this has been completed, um, which means we are on the review phase and close phase. At this moment, if we have success or if we have any failure, cancel mean if the change, there was a change of plan and the change has been cancelled, so it could be cancelled at this point. Though if change is new and it's in the draft phase, we can still cancel it, we can still eliminate it. That's not a problem. Okay, so that was all about how to submit a change request using ServiceNow. I hope you understand the workflow and you know how to submit a change request using ServiceNow. If you have any questions, please write in the comments and I will answer those questions. Thank you very much.